So I've been troubled a lot for the past year with several things. We got Hollywood constantly making shows and movies to insult Catholics and Christians, which is a sky is blue situation, but unfortunately people do get their knowledge from movies, even if it's wrong, as I discussed in my Who's Luce video. But we also have politicians and celebrities doing it, which is frustrating and sad because now we live in a time where people have replaced God with politicians and politics. And their god is whoever the best new politician or whatever celebrity is out. And there's many things that can cause anger. Government can, whatever the decisions they is done or what they do, like whatever politicians are doing or what they're not doing, that can cause anger. Celebrities and what they did can cause a lot of anger against them. People you may or may not know, that can cause anger. Organizations doing stuff against you or messing with you or just doing things you don't like, that can cause hatred. Your family, your own family can do stuff that would affect you negatively, and that can cause hatred against them. But today's topic is why you shouldn't hate. And what we can get from the Bible, as in the verses I'll show in a bit, you can't get into heaven if you have hatred towards anyone. Because we're all made by God. And if you hate anyone, then you're hating God's creation. So I'm going to go through 4 examples of things that I hate, and I'll go over why. Just to see, connect with what I'm talking about here. Example number 1. I hate the DEI programs and everyone who supported it, knowingly or unknowingly, of what the true nature of it was. So, I'll give a story. I went to a Native American event for scholarships, and the president was there of that whole event and the organization. I said hello to her when she passed by my table, and when she was there for her speech, she said that she was a result of DEI, and that DEI is a good thing. Immediately, when she said that, I no longer thought of her as someone who worked from the bottom to the top. And she worked her way from a regular employee, starting position, to the president of the organization. Now I just see her as someone hired to fill out a checkbox. So, in my head, they went to the chart and like, okay, we had this as our last president, we should elect a new president, this one's a woman, what's the sexual orientation? This one's a sexual orientation. Alright, good. If we hire this person, it'll look good on us, and that's what they did. And this even happens for like movies, as well as like people are either decisions are done or people are hired because of DEI. So you're no longer thinking, oh, this person got hired because they're a good actor. No, they got hired because they're a specific race. And that's why I dislike this, because DEI ruins the accomplishments of hardworking individuals that worked from the starting position to the top where they are now. But now it can just be chalked up like you're only there to check a box. And that's why I hate the people who made it and people who support it. And it really frustrates me. That gets me. My second example of that is how society is making... I'll give another real personal experience. Different event. So context, I'm talking to a white guy. I'm a native man. And this is after the event. The main thing already happened, and now it's just everyone talking with each other, eating food. And what I hate is that society has made, for example, white people very apologetic for something they've never did. Like, there is no way, because he mentions to me about he's so sorry about what has happened to, like, native people and their tribes and their reservations and all this stuff at an event that had nothing to do with it. So it frustrates me. It makes it awkward to me, but it frustrates me that he had to say that. That he feels obligated to have to say this topic for a conversation, because society has been trying to hammer in recently, and I guess for a long time now, maybe, that, oh, if you're white, you're evil, or if you're white, you're responsible for all this. For in reality, his family could have done nothing of what the horrors he was mentioning. His family couldn't even have been in America. He could have been from a different country, and his family stayed there until somewhat recently, And even if his family was one of the people who were harming tribes people, he didn't do it. So why would he have to apologize? And the same thing goes with black people wanting reparations for slavery. When a lot of the times, maybe your family moved in from a different country and they're just blaming every single white person for slavery when are we gonna get reparations for everyone? Because everyone at a certain many times in history, everyone was a slave to someone. For example, if they are a descendant of a slave, are they gonna want reparations from Africa because the black tribes over there, or black kingdoms, I don't know what exactly, but over there, are they going to get reparations from them? Are you demand money from them because they're the ones that were selling to the British and then the British brought them over here? Is that something that's going to happen? But no, these people just like to blame the easiest or the closest person to them or something. It doesn't make really sense to me. I guess my next example would be people obsessed with skin color of other individuals or the skin color of religion. So with the people obsessed with skin color, it really frustrates me. It surprises me as well, because I've seen the excuse for someone of a darker complexion doing a crime was, oh, they don't know any better. They're an immigrant. What? Maybe, learn the laws before you come to the country. But who cares what color of skin they are? A crime's a crime. And they have to pay the time, It shouldn't matter. But people have gotten pardons because they're an immigrant or a different race. People have gotten lighter sentences for their gender and race because they are... It frustrates me. It surprises me mostly that this is happening or could have ever happened. And you can call me naive for this, but I never thought that the care for skin color mattered so much where it affects justice or people's perspective on criminals. Like, oh, well, it's okay if they do this crime. Look at their race. They've always been harassed in my imaginary world of movies and books and the past history that has been outlawed for many years. But they've always been harassed. And that just really messes with me a bit, because I'm more surprised that they treat skin colors of a darker complexion or a race like sick puppies. Like, they don't know any better, or like children, I guess. Like, oh, they're just a kid, kind of like that. It's kind of that response. They're just a kid. They don't know any better. They're only 5. So it kind of like that is what I'm saying. But the main reason I bring people obsessed with skin color is people see the skin color of religion, which doesn't matter. For example, people look at Jesus and go like, oh, I don't want your white religion because the statue you have of Jesus is white. Well, there's statues of Jesus that is black. There's statues of Jesus Asian. Whatever race is nearby, like, if you're going to go to America, you're going to see like a white Jesus. If you're going to go to an Asian area, you're going to see an Asian Jesus, an Asian Mary. Same thing with going to a black area. If you go to Africa, Ethiopia, you're going to see in Christian areas Jesus be the color of the area. So people hating on Christianity as a whole just because it's seen as a white religion really annoys me. Because one, you're insisting you don't care if a white person suffers, when we're all human. It doesn't matter what the skin color is. It sucks when anyone suffers. Moving on. So, as the examples I stated, hatred is everywhere these days, right? Whether it's towards the world or fellow man, the truth is, you, me, or anyone who gives in to hate, and till the day they die, the devil wins. But we can change that if we let go of our hatred and forgive the group of people or a singular person every day. Even the worst person in the world that you can think of, that you hate, every time you think of them, forgive them. Because, as it states in the verses I'll mention in a minute, you cannot enter the gates of heaven if you still have hatred in your heart to your fellow man, to your brother. But most importantly, I'll get to the verses so you can understand. In Matthew 7:1-4, John 3:15, and 1 John 4:20-21. And I'll read Matthew 18:21-22. This is how we can forgive. And this is what Peter comes to the Lord and says, "How often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" And Jesus said to him, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 70 times 7. I would like to also remind you that vengeance is not the answer, as explained in Leviticus 19, verses 17 through 18, and Romans 12, verses 19 through 21. We must leave it to God and try to reason with our lost brothers and sisters who harm us. For every soul saved is one less that damns themselves to hell. Forgiving people can be hard, and it might take a lot of time to rid of it for good. But as long as you forgive every day, every time you remember and put in that effort and ask God for help, nothing is impossible. So don't let hate rule your life. In Matthew 7, verses 1 through 4, "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounced, you will be judged, and the measure you give will be measure you get. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when there is the log in your own eye?" So that is something that you must remember every day. When you judge someone for either how they look or what they do, remember that. Now, a key thing to note, when you're telling someone, "Hey, I don't think you should be doing this," that can lead to the path of sin, or it can lead you, this path of sin could lead you to hell if you don't stop what you're doing and repent and change for the better. That's not judging, that is trying to help someone. So just keep that in mind. But before you go, if you would like some genuinely good art, good writing and everything, good Catholic comics, I recommend Voyage Comics, and you can use a affiliate link I have in the description that you can get 10% off your order, and they're really good. I recommend the Phantom Phoenix if you're into superheroes, but there's also Saints, the Lives of Saints, and there's also some comic strips. They're really funny. And lastly, there are Explaining the Faith and one of their series. But if you're not into comics, there is novels. There are there. And they do have merch on some of their stuff, like shirts and stickers and stuff. So it's always, if not a comic, at least a sticker or a t-shirt, But other than that, have a great day.